to this ABNCast edition recorded at MRO Europe in London. It's really rare at these events that you get to talk to a rock star, and so we're really privileged to have Bruce Dickinson. For those of you who know Bruce is not only a rock star, he's also a pilot, but also, and we'll talk about this in more detail, he's also the founder of a company called Caerdav, which we'll get into in more detail. But Bruce, thanks for joining us on ABNcast.
Yep.
Just start off. We can't talk to you without talking about your rock star life, which you're still living, as well as doing the aviation side of things. Let's talk about the differences between these two industries. In some ways, they're both glamour industries, but I know they differ a lot. What do you prefer? Do you prefer the rock world, or do you prefer the aviation sector?
Well, I don't get a choice. I mean, I go out and do music, and that's what I do. I mean, when I was a pilot, I was a full-time pilot for like almost 15 years, flying 75, 73, and lastly a brief stint on a 747, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Did you get
into that because of the fact that
I got into flying because it was something I'd been passionate about since I was very small, but I never got a chance to go and have a go at it. And I just went down the rabbit hole, and just one thing led to another. And I thought, I'm not John Travolta. I can't afford my own jet aeroplane. Yeah. I'll have to go and get a job and fly somebody else's.
Okay, so it might have been something you'd have done had you not become a rock star, because you were interested as a
Yeah, well, I was going to join the military, but I didn't do that. I went to university and did a degree in history, and then that was useful because I became a rock star. Figured that one out. Anyway, so the reason I didn't go flying because I was rubbish at maths at school. Right. So I thought, obviously, you need to be a brain of Britain, but actually you don't.
Yeah.
If you're passionate enough and committed enough about something, you can learn what you need to know. Anyway. Long story short, I flew as an airline pilot, and the one thing that always fascinated me was the wonderful world of maintenance, because it usually meant that I was delayed, or the airplane was broken, and I was fascinated by engineers, because the more I got to realise that the people that really made airplanes fly were engineers, not pilots.
It's the logistics behind it.
We do the pulling and the pushing, and push the buttons in between. But the reason that airplane starts up, gets airborne, and lands safely is engineers and engineering.
Yeah.
And my uncle was a flight engineer in the Royal Air Force. My great uncle was a flight engineer in the Second World War. He was buried at Cranwell. He was one of Trenchard's apprentices. My dad was an engineer. I am not an engineer. I couldn't fix a set of shelves, but I know a man who can.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate good engineering. My cousin is currently one of the top rebuilders of Porsche 911s in the world. As a factory with 700 employees, doing exactly what I'm doing in aviation, except he's doing it and his Porsches go out the door at a minimum $1 million each.
Right.
Okay. And they are the level of detail is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that level of detail, that commitment to excellence, is what I expect from the company that I started.
Yeah. I think both industries, the music industry and Navy, on the face of it, look like one thing, but actually when you dig beneath the surface, it's very different. So, the rock and roll life cycle looks chaotic, but as you were saying before we started, underneath it, the logistics of getting everything to one place for a particular time to put on a show are huge, aren't they?
And but I mean, I just come off 5 months of touring, right? So I've been doing anywhere between 6 shows in 8 days, moving around, boom, 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 for 50, 60 shows during the last 3-4 months. And it's hard work, and you need a lot of commitment, attention to detail, stamina, and all that kind of stuff. It is different to maintenance. Maintenance is aircraft maintenance is heavy maintenance is base maintenance, so it's fixed. You need commitment by a team to do the detailed work required to follow meticulous procedures, in
a highly regulated sector as well. So there's oversight.
Well, of course it's highly regulated. You want that. So, when we don't get, in rock and roll, we don't get audited.
Yeah.
We don't get the rock and roll CAA or EASA or the FAA. No such thing exists.
Thank goodness,
right?
probably as well.
That our audience does that for us.
Yeah.
But in the world of aviation, of course, your audit is, you live and die by your audit. Your business can be shut down in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
For infringement. So, I'm very proud that Caerdav is impeccable in terms of its audit reputation.
Yeah. Let's talk about Caerdav. I've got to pronounce it correctly because it's Car is the Welsh for Cardiff, and then Av is aviation. So
that's right. Yeah.
It's a small MRO facility based in Cardiff.
Yeah,
so tell us about the guys. Your colleagues telling me about the founding story. You walked into a facility and said, "This'll do. This is perfect."
If we build it, they will come. Okay. Quite literally. I mean, although the hangars are empty.
Right. It was an old military facility.
They've just been refurbished. I mean, it had been there for a while, but the RAF had just vacated it, refurbished it beautifully.
Yeah.
And I wandered in there, and there was a proposal to start an MRO. So I just said, I'll sign a lease on these hangars. I didn't have a single employee. I had no approvals. I didn't even have a spanner. I had one employee, in fact, and his job was to turn off the lights.
Okay.
And we started from zero.
Yeah.
And, obviously in the early years, it was not easy.
Yeah.
Big learning curve. But you slowly build the team. And the team we've got now, several members of the team we've got now have been there since the beginning. They've seen various people come and go, but now we've established ourselves firmly, I think, as a market leader in the UK, as an independent MRO with quality as the watchword.
Yeah.
Quality, on-time delivery, and at the market rate.
Yeah.
A fair price, not a stupid price.
And you're focusing on narrow body.
We focus
737s, 320s.
737 and 320. That is our bread and butter.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're doing, airplanes. I think we're doing we used to do the 14-year checks. And now I think we've moved on. We're doing slightly older checks. Anyway, The basic life cycle is one airplane a month. So that's 4 airplanes across the hangars every month. In, out, on time.
Yeah.
Set your watch.
Yeah, I understand. It was you had 3 lines, but you've added a 4th.
We had 3 lines. We modified the hangar, and we were getting a lot of commercial pressure to go to 4 lines. And actually, we resisted it because I wanted to make sure that by going to 4 lines, we weren't compromising any element of the maintenance of the other 3.
Yeah.
But we've got some pretty robust procedures in place. The CAA, very happy. EASA are very happy with everything. So, and the client, of course, is very happy because it means they get more stuff fixed.
I mean, you're in a market where there's plenty of demand and not enough supply. So that push to give you another line is understandable. And everyone wants more capacity out there at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, well, frankly, we'd like more capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, but let's get our feet under the desk with 4 lines. I mean, we have around about 250 employees at the moment.
Okay.
And we're looking to recruit more, but also train more ourselves. So we have a very successful apprentice program. We've won Apprentice of the Year for the last couple of years. It's a 3-year program, and at the end of it, if they want, they've got a job.
Yeah. And that's tough at the moment. The lack of throughput of new engineers and qualified mechanics is a challenge for the industry. So how are you adjusting that?
We've got homegrown people and we upskill people.
Yeah.
And of course, we do sometimes have to bring in external contractors, but our procedures are very robust. So people who come in have to fit our model.
Right.
And, in the past, there's all shades of people in this industry.
Yeah.
And frankly, the right personalities will fit with our philosophy. And if you're the wrong type of personality, you may be a perfectly good engineer, but frankly, if you're not prepared to go along with our procedures, I'll be honest, it's a safety risk.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So,
each company's got a culture, and you've got a particular culture which you believe works for you, and then which may not work elsewhere.
Which clearly works for us because we get like the gold standard report from our audits. So obviously the authorities are very happy. The customers are very happy because the airplanes are coming in and going out on time, on budget. So what's not to love about that?
It's working. When you are recruiting, where do you find where they're coming from? Are you tapping into a local talent pool, or do you have to spread the net?
No, I mean we're very lucky that we're in Wales.
Yeah.
Because one of the things about Wales is that a lot of our employees are local.
Yeah.
South Wales is a hotspot for aviation.
Okay.
About 20% of all aviation activity in the UK.
There's a lot of companies based around there. Yeah. We're on the Wales stand here, aren't we? So.
Well, we are. So, for example, CFM56 engines are overhauled 10 miles away from where we are. So it's very logical that we would do a deal with CFM to go and change their engines.
Yeah.
So it's not massive to our business, but it's a nice string to the bow, and it's illustrative of the the hotspot that is Welsh aviation down there.
Yeah.
The activity we've got 3 technical universities down there, and all of our apprentices pretty much all come from Wales.
Yeah. When you have these hotspots, you do get a reputation for that, and I guess when you're in school, you know that, and you aspire to be, work in the local industry. Is there still that kind of sense among very young school kids that they want to go into aviation? Or is that being lost a little bit because aviation is
not
as glamorous as it used to be?
No, not at all. Well, if you're of the right mentality and you like technical things, this is the perfect industry. And there's no shortage of kids who like doing technical things. I mean, kids are absolute whiz kids on computers. Kids are whiz kids at technical drawing and stuff like that. I know from looking at things that people do just from on the Rockstar side of things, the talent that's out there in terms of kids doing drawings and stuff and paintings. I'm thinking, oh my God, the talent is all out there.
Yeah.
And it just needs to be focused and shaped so they can feel fulfilled doing a great job.
Yeah. I guess some of those other sectors you mentioned, they offer a different kind of lifestyle, which aviation simply can't, because you can't do base maintenance working from home, for instance. So, for a new generation that wants that kind of flexibility, maybe aviation doesn't appeal quite so much. But
no, but it does. But I would argue that when people come to work in an MRO environment, what they get is all the things you don't get from sitting on your own, going quietly mad in your bedroom. You get comradeship, you get a great team, you get esprit de corps, you get friends for life.
Yeah.
All of those things are such positive attributes.
Yeah.
And brilliant for people. Lots of people are having a lot of problems with mental health at the moment.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, I think, is that COVID put the fear of God up people, and they forgot how to interact with other human beings. Well, we are all about interacting with other human beings, because that's how we guarantee safety and also how we ensure innovation. And because we're an open-ended company, we encourage employees to come up with innovations that would make us more efficient or greener or whatever,
And obviously technology is a big part of that. Well, how much are you developing new technologies, adopting artificial intelligence, for instance? Is that something Caerdav is embracing?
So there are areas in which that can be a factor.
Yeah.
And there are areas in which it is of little relevance. So, for example, if we have to do a corrosion skin repair on an airplane, it's no good asking a computer program to sand down the aluminium, make the assessment, go and start doing the rivets and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's a skilled human being doing that job. And there are jobs like that which are all over the airplane, which will never be replaced by robots. Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you can have drones surveying the outside of an aircraft, yeah, that's nice. Saves you a bit of time on your dent and buckle charts and things like that.
Yeah.
The main thing with AI is probably predictive maintenance.
I was going to say.
But predictive maintenance is something which we've been doing for years.
Yeah.
AI may help it be a little bit more efficient, but predictive maintenance is all down to data.
Yeah.
And we've been collecting this data for donks. And now the airplanes are collecting their own data, and they will, predict when they will or won't go wrong, unless there's something that they forgot about, which, as it turns out, happens all of the time.
Yeah, it's not 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a particular interest in predictive maintenance because we run predictive aircraft maintenance conference.
Right.
We'll be doing in Dublin in a few weeks, and we did Singapore a few weeks ago, and it's clearly its time has come probably for two reasons. Firstly, there's a push on the industry side because these aircraft are flying for longer, so you need to keep them in the air longer. You want to reduce the AOGs, etc. And then the technology is now there as well to support it. You can do things you couldn't do before. So its time has sort of come, I guess, and that's, although it's not a new thing, it's certainly a trend.
No, of course it's a trend, but also you have to bear in mind that it's AI predictive maintenance may be applicable to new airplanes.
Yeah.
But when they get to like 6 or 7 years old, they're not new airplanes anymore, and AI will not be able to predict what things may possibly go wrong with them.
Yeah.
Because it can't predict that the laundry truck's going to drive into the side of it.
Sure.
It can't predict that all of a sudden there's going to be a corrosion issue on the leading edges. It can't predict that, tire blowouts and things like that.
Yeah.
So there will always be those kind of things which will occur. Which AI will not be able to predict. And for those things, you need human beings, and you need judgment calls, and you need engineers.
Yeah. But for the most part, I mean, we were in the conference sessions yesterday afternoon, and everyone was saying, apart from addressing the people crisis and the talent shortage in the industry, what everyone needs is a bit more of a kind of more predictability of the future. Even if you can't do it 100%, at least you're being more proactive than reactive, and then that's probably what everybody in this show this year is talking about. Is trying to be a bit more proactive in terms of predicting the future and being ready for it.
Well, I can tell you what the future is. Do you like me to tell you what
Go
the
on,
future
yeah. Go up.
The future for us is 4 airplanes a month for the next 9 months.
Okay.
That's our future.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee that future exists because it already has happened.
Yeah.
So we can't take an airplane anymore because we're full.
Yeah.
Right? So, and what I'd like is to predict the future the year after and the year after that.
Yeah.
So given that, you're now down to, okay, what's wrong with each individual airplane? Well, we have a list of things that's going to be wrong with it because we know from predictive maintenance what's likely to be wrong with each aircraft.
Yeah.
And then when you examine it, you'll find out what actually is wrong with it. So even if AI says this is likely to be wrong with it, you need an engineer to go in there and go, well, you know what? It's a funny thing. Yeah, you're dead right. There is that. But also, by the way, did you realize that a big lump has fallen out into the engine intake? Oh, AI couldn't predict that.
Yeah.
So that's what you need, human beings who can discriminate and fault assess and do the job they were trained to do.
Yeah. Before we finish, just a word on the event. I know you flew in last night.
Yesterday.
Yeah. From LA or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. You're a busy man, but you've made time to come here. What do you get out of being here?
All my buddies are here who started the company with me years and years ago. I'm incredibly proud of Chris and his team. Chris started out as basically as in the accountancy department.
Okay.
And was busy trying to keep the company solvent in the first 2 years, and has just built up an encyclopedic knowledge of not just the skill set, but also the people involved in this industry. So I'm really pleased that, 3 years ago, I was able to appoint him to lead the team forward, and we are flying, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to...
Without using it.
Without using a terrible
fun, yeah.
No, but we really are flying now.
It sounds like, guys, if you could, and you could magic up another facility for 4 aircraft, you'd do it tomorrow, yeah?
Well, if I could manage a facility, I wouldn't be able to man it immediately.
Well, okay.
The key for
There's restrictions.
No, we haven't, because as you realise, as you pointed out, that there is a manpower, woman power, person power shortage, right?
Yeah.
So even if we could magic up a facility tomorrow, we wouldn't be able to use that until the following maintenance year.
Yeah.
But we're already thinking in that direction because, frankly, the demand is there for minimum 6, possibly 8 lines. But let's be. I'm a great believer in doing in doing the art of the possible. You know, not over promising. I'd rather over deliver than over promise.
Yeah, set expectations at a reasonable level.
Yeah, which is very un-rock star like, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But you've got your rock star life as well to fall back on when you want to be a bit more chaotic. And
I do that all the time. But when I come in, I put I like being, you know, I don't like exciting. I don't like exciting events in maintenance.
No,
I like maintenance to be clear, sober, and brilliant.
Yeah, that is definitely the difference between those two sectors. You cannot have things happen that.
When I was a pilot,
expect.
when I was a pilot, people, isn't it a boring job being a pilot? I went, I hope so.
Yeah. No, Bruce, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Our time is up, but it's been great to meet you.
Mate.
And enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.